We are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret society, opposed to secret oaths, opposed to secret proceedings, secret proceedings. No official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.
Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host.
This is Sammy, your co-host.
Today we're covering a movie that apparently it's been out for a little bit, but
just last year,
yeah, 2021, but it just now hit Netflix. You can hear that shit up there, man.
Okay.
Do you care to close that real quick?
Nope.
But I've always, when you get into like true crime, it's kind of weird because you don't want to like say you have a favorite serial killer. I don't really have so much favorites or anything like that. I do enjoy true crime, but it's always like whenever you're a fan of true crime, you kind of feel like you're treading on thin ice on how you say things, especially in this world with like everyone's triggered so easily. But I've always felt bad to a degree for Aileen Wuornos, and I don't know, I wouldn't say I've always identified with her, but if I were to be a serial killer, I would be an Aileen Wuornos. Just because we both were like in Florida and stuff, and I'm waiting for my backup, but I don't know, it's just such a good story, I think. So today we're covering Aileen Wuornos' American Boogeywoman, not Boogeyman. But as far as my updates, I already did a podcast earlier today, so I already kind of did my update. I'm kind of waiting on her.
I'm coming.
So what about you? Where you been, man?
Work. That's honestly it. That's all I've done is working home.
Okay. Well,
life hasn't changed too much for me. Just working home.
Valentine's Day is coming up.
Yes, about to mention that though.
What are we doing?
We were making plans for Valentine's. Go to a distillery and out to eat.
What distillery, man?
The Evan Williams.
Yeah, I know. For them.
I know, I was getting there. To go out to the Evan Williams Distillery in Louisville.
Cool. Yeah, it's if it's the one I'm thinking of, it's supposed to have like this gigantic bottle that's pouring into like a fountain. Like it's legit like 10, 12 foot tall, like a huge glass bottle, and it's obviously not bourbon, but it's like they dye the water brown so it looks like bourbon pouring out into a fountain. It looks fucking cool as hell.
Yeah.
Also, my boss, he's getting antsy, so we're planning a vacation trip. Going to Waverly Hills in November. So that gives me plenty of time to save up money, and I get a week off. She gets a week off.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like a insane asylum, right?
The Waverly Hills Sanatorium used to be a house first, then it started to help hospitalize people with like tuberculosis and
That's
things.
right. That's right. It wasn't an insane asylum. It was for
No.
TB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think eventually it became a bit of an insane asylum to some degree, because after TB happened and they expanded their building further.
Because a sanatorium's an insane asylum, essentially.
Usually, yes.
Yeah.
But again, that could range from so many different things. Because back then, you didn't just have literally someone who was on a mental level not safe. They had all. You could be classified as insane from simply just being a little bit manic in some degree.
Like
You were too overly happy, too overly sad, too eccentric in your life. Oh my God, you are insane. You need help because you're too eccentric. I mean, like the simplest thing back then, it was all encompassing, especially even for the word schizophrenic. Schizophrenic was a much broader meaning for it. So I mean, a lot of different people could end up there. Children would end up there. It's just all kinds of reasons why, and that's why a lot of them end up shutting down back in the day, because they just were horrible conditions and everything.
But it's supposed to be pretty cool. I talked about it on a podcast before. I'm trying to remember the episode off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we talked about it.
Well, I think I covered Waverly Hills. I think I did a whole episode on it.
Yeah.
So go look up that. I kind of talk about some people that I know here in Kentucky who have actually visited it and had experiences, and they shared their experiences with me, and I shared it on the podcast. So I'll link it below if you're on YouTube. But yeah, I've never been. I'm not sure. We could probably, depending on how much money I save up, there's a 24-hour you can stay the night. If I... Did you hear that?
Yeah, that was one of the, what do you call the same things? The units outside. It's not ours, it's somebody else's.
That sounds like a ghost, man.
Yeah, when it's shut
Is
down.
it?
Yeah.
But, if I have enough money, I'll do a 24-hour stay the night tour with Sammy, and we'll record and document, you know.
Yeah. I think you gotta have a bit of a group, though, to really do that.
Oh, okay. Well, then we might just do a tour, and I'll still film and
Yeah.
take pictures and make a YouTube video out of it.
Yeah, because I think they don't just like let one or two people stay the night, because that, I think, to them isn't worth as much as a group of them.
Right.
Or what can be considered a hunting group, you know, an actual, like, group, if you know what I'm saying. Investigational team.
Yeah. Which we are, technically, but...
Yes. Yes, we are.
I'm gonna put you on the hot spot. You put out a ghost podcast. Well, you didn't put it out. You
No, I
recorded
made it, yeah.
You still ain't put it out, man.
No, I haven't. No, I have not. I've been bad.
When you gonna do that, dude?
I don't know.
Don't know.
I need to, though, I know. I almost didn't really like what I did, though. I wanted to redo it, but at the same time, I'm kind of feeling like, well, maybe I should just put it out anyway.
Just put it out anyways, dude.
Yeah.
200th episode is coming up, which will put us into season 2. That's when we'll start season 2.
Yep.
Episode 200. I've got plans. I don't want to spoil it, but it will be out soon. I think this will be episode 191. So, should be fun, man.
Away.
Tune in. Please like, share, and subscribe. You know that helps.
Yes, it does.
Definitely share. You know.
Yeah, definitely like it. And
oh, and rate us on Spotify, man.
yes, we are on Spotify by Anchor, and with Anchor, though, if you visit Anchor, you can check out the episodes that way, and also comment on any questions or polls that we might have attached with the episodes. So you can do that as well.
There you go. So Aileen Wuornos, American Boogeywoman. By the way, that's such a silly title.
It was. I'm sorry. I still say, like, again, the opening, was very trippy and cool, but it just didn't match the story.
I ain't gonna lie, I kind of liked it because...
You thought it matched it? It goes with the story?
Well, because the whole thing with the story is like halfway through the story it goes wonky.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I think that's kind of what they were trying to portray, like
In the opening?
yeah, is that like this is how crazy Aileen is. And I feel like when they were doing the interviews with Aileen in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
they were trying to portray her as like bad shit and a liar, essentially.
My personal opinion is that she's bad shit and a liar. That's my personal opinion on that.
Yeah, I don't feel like Monster portrayed that.
Monster, I feel portrays...
We're reviewing Monster and Aileen Wuornos, American
Yeah, because you do kind of have
Boogeywoman.
to make a comparison.
Well, the reason why you have to kind of make a comparison too is because apparently when this movie got on Netflix, like here recently, apparently it's been out since 2021, and they literally, it's a cheesy film altogether.
Yeah, low budget film, definitely.
Yeah, and which it doesn't have low budget actors though.
No.
It has
The guy from the Saw.
yeah, Jigsaw. And then the girl who plays young Aileen is actually, she's in Cobra Kai right now.
So it is still a low budget, actually.
Yeah.
Because, well, although we know these actors, they only really play in the lower budget films.
Right.
Kind of stuff. Not saying that they're not a good actor or actress. Not saying that. Just saying they tend to stick with those right now. Because
Right.
there is that chance they're just not quote unquote popular enough yet to hit the bigger ones, and or they just don't want to. Maybe, you know, which is cool if they don't. I don't mind actors who be like, nah, I'm happy with these films. You know, like I'm cool with being in these kinds of films right here, these lower end ones. Like I'm fine with it.
But yeah, I mean, so like when you go into watching this movie, don't expect Monster.
No.
Even though that's what I feel like they leached off of it, and they did, because they literally promoted the movie back in the day as like, oh, we're a complimentary film of Monster. They literally mentioned Monster as like they leached onto it. Like,
Well, didn't you say too? You heard where they used an exact same line from Monster?
while watching it.
Yeah.
I think so. Well, they used Aileen, just her phrases and shit though.
Oh, okay.
So it's not really like they stole lines
No,
off
no, no.
Monster. It's
No,
just,
I didn't mean
yeah.
like still, but like it was
Monster-
sound a lot like.
Monster did such a good job at like capturing Aileen of
Mhm.
like her like mannerisms and her phrases like, hey
Yeah.
man, what's up man, hey dude, you know,
Mhm.
and some of her phrases leaked into that film,
Yeah.
but that was just Aileen. So I mean, you
Yeah.
can't really say that
Oh no.
they
no.
were stealing it from Monster.
No, I wasn't trying to say
Yeah.
they were stealing it. I was just saying it.
They captured Aileen with her
Yeah.
phrases, because even while watching it, there are those things, like if I've studied Aileen Wuornos for like years, just because like I said in the opening of this, I've kind of, I don't know, I love Aileen, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. I love Aileen Wuornos, and I've studied her for years.
Yeah.
I don't think she's the good guy, but I don't think she's the bad guy. It's 50-50. I think she was someone who had a horrible upbringing
I agree with that.
and suffered a lot, and her brain just broke. And I feel bad for her on that, but she is a monster. Don't forget that. She is a monster.
Yeah.
So, learning Eileen's mannerisms and her actions and the way she speaks and talks, especially, Aileen was in Florida, and I'm from Florida, so I like get her lingo. Like when she speaks, I'm like, Florida talk. Like I understand it. I think that's why I connected so much.
Well, I think honestly, Florida and Michigan have a lot of the same talk.
And she was from Michigan.
I know,
Yeah.
but that's my point. Is
Yeah.
that
And I
Florida and
got
Michigan.
family in
In
Michigan
Michigan.
and Florida.
yeah, I think
So-
that's what another thing allowed you to, in a
Yep.
sense, connect
Connect.
with her. But I also do think they have a lot of the same lingo, really.
Yeah.
But then you think about it, there's a lot of pill runs. Like, not trying to say anything bad, but like there is a lot of runs between, what, 2 states?
Are you talking about the pill mills?
Yeah, a lot of the, what are the 2 states that are connected? So it's like, I could see how a lot of that lingo is going to go from this state to that state because they're running so much with each other.
Yeah.
They're connected through that, just in general.
Yeah. They did capture super well. Okay. Let me say this. The younger version of Aileen, they did a horrible job on. For one, she's super fucking hot. And Aileen was not super fucking hot, like, ever. That and, like, they barely show her naked. I ain't gonna lie. If you're gonna do a smoking hot chick, at least show her butt naked at least once. Like, you get to see, like, a side boob and her butt crack, and that's it. And I was just kind of like, that's it? That's all? Like, I think in Monster, they at least showed, like, titties and stuff. Christina Ricci, she was grabbing on old girl's titty.
Yeah.
The sex scenes were at least decent in Monster.
Yeah.
But, they did, I do have to say this, though, the older version of Aileen, though.
It's pretty spot on.
Yeah, it was super spot on, like.
Although, I do feel like.
It was almost as good as Monster.
Yeah, I do feel like, though, her face was a little too puffy.
Pudgy. Yeah. Yep.
You
okay, so you caught that too.
Yeah, you could definitely tell it was the makeup stuff, the stuff to make her look a little older and
Yeah. I did think that too, that she was a little too poofy.
Yeah, it was just like, as if she pudged up. And we have seen the actual interview footage, and she doesn't look that pudgy.
No.
I mean, like I said, she don't look pretty, but she's definitely not pudgy like she was in that. But again, I keep in mind, low budget film, they were doing their best.
Well, I feel like with the low budget film, the American Boogeywoman, I feel like they actually had a full blown mask. With the Aileen, with Monster, they gave her a mouthpiece to wear to give her that overbite.
Yeah.
But she didn't have to wear a mask.
No, they probably just did good makeup and stuff.
Yeah.
Which in the case of the low budget,
I feel like the puffiness, they probably actually legit put like a mask on her almost.
Close. It would be something similar. It'd be like a lot of latex skin stuff. And again, they just might not have done it quite right to where it was just a little too puffy-ish. And it might not have quite matched that woman's face structure, and that could be also why it looked a little puffier.
So, right from the get-go, the ratings are like 50-50. And
it's not terrible, but wasn't great either.
Yeah. It's, to me, the way I looked at it, is it's like a prelude. Because the basic storyline is like, before Monster, like Monster starts out and Aileen is sitting under an overpass and she's literally got a revolver and she's like contemplating suicide. Spoiler alerts, by the way. But Aileen is like literally looking at a gun, it's pouring rain outside, she's living under an overpass and she's just like, I'm gonna blow my fucking brains out, you know. And she says, I got $5 in my pocket, and God, I'm going to spend this last $5 at the bar, and if you don't save my life tonight, I'm going to blow my brains out with this gun. And when she goes to the bar, she ends up meeting her girlfriend, and it's kind of like that completely changes the whole narrative. Aileen doesn't kill herself, she falls in love with a woman. She doesn't even know she's gay. Not yet.
I think she didn't recognize that. And I mean this as even the true Aileen. I don't think she recognized how much she started to grow to hate men due to what has happened to her. Like she was
raped.
Yeah, so she was growing this hate for men in her heart ever so more, even though she thought all I had was prostitution. So I think that's one reason why she would date more women than men. And why she actually did end up, killing the guys. Because whether they really were raping her or not, if any of them did, I can't actually say, because I do think she was at a mental point of just agreeing to have sex with them. To her, in her mind, it's rape. Because she didn't really want to do it, but she felt she had to do it because that's all she knows. So I think she just literally got to this breaking point of every guy's just out to rape me. That's all they're out to do. Because in her mind, she has this horrible hate for them. They're all horrible. They're all nasty. They all just want to rape her again. You know, like in her head, that's...
She was burnt too many fucking times, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, that's not to say that all the guys were raping her. They were just like, hey, hooker, sex, cool. Let's go, you know, I go home now. But in her mind, it was this immediately, oh, you're here to rape me, huh? You just want to fuck me and rape me and, you know, beat me, and even if that's not what they were aiming for.
That actually reminds me of that scene. There's a very important scene in Monster. This is actually just, I've already said this is going to be a review of both movies. We're just going to talk Aileen in general at this point. But that reminds me of that scene where she is so much expecting rape.
Yeah. Or
just the dirtiness of being a prostitute.
Yeah.
Remember when she picks up that retard?
Yeah.
And he's like cross-eyed and like he's retarded and...
Well, yeah, he couldn't speak well.
Yeah, he's like got a stuttering problem. He's retarded.
Yeah.
And like she's like, what the fuck, man? Take your clothes off. What are you doing?
Cat got your tongue?
Yeah, cat got your tongue. And she starts cussing him out and he's just like, I've never been with a woman.
Yeah, I've never done this.
And then she figures out, oh, he's retarded.
Yeah.
So like...
She takes pity, honestly.
Yeah, she doesn't kill him and she just takes pity and she just like gives him like a hand job real quick. And she's just like, give me my money and gets the fuck out of the car.
Yeah, she grabs his wallet.
But she's so... She, like, spicing up what you just said, like, she's so used to being treated like...
Shit.
Yeah. So when she came across someone who's honestly an innocent, pure soul, she's like, whoa, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. I thought you were just a creep like the rest of them.
There was time in between the killing. I don't think she killed every guy that she had sex with.
Yeah.
I think it kept building up. It would build up, but it wouldn't take long for it to build up. But you know, she would kill him, and then she'd feel okay for a bit, and then it would build up again, and then so she'd kill another one, and then it would be a little bit of time, you know, okay, I'm okay, and then it would build up again, here's another guy, because like I said,
she felt bad for killing that preacher one, or the Christian one. Yeah,
but at the same time, she felt like she had to. I think she just felt like she was going to turn her in, like, you know, I'm so far in,
it's too late.
Yeah.
We can't even turn back at this point.
Yeah, it's what she felt like. I mean, I actually probably would say she probably could have let the guy go and he probably wouldn't have turned her in. Just been like, you know, whatever. Like, I'm just going to go home to my wife and feel very lucky that I got away from it. You know, I have a feeling, anyway, it probably would have went that way. But she was just so, I'm fucked. I'm screwed. I'm not going to get out of this. And especially because she had just killed the cop. Yep, she had just killed the cop. So now her mind is in a complete panic mode.
I honestly, too, like, police are so lazy, sorry, but they just are, like, they don't want to do paperwork.
They can be, yeah.
Until she killed that cop, she would have kept getting away with it.
Well,
because she was cleaning the streets.
Well, see, I don't know, though. Remember that documentary we watched about the perspective of them? They were...
I think they went gung-ho as soon as she killed the cop, though. The cops
I mean, that definitely made them get more gung-ho. But they were already looking for her. They were already noticing, wait a minute, this is...
They were. You're right.
There's a lot of MOs.
What documentary was that? Do you remember?
Was it that Catching one? That episode where it's called, like, Catching Killer? Or something like that? It's on Netflix. It's another one that was on Netflix.
It's an Aileen Wuornos one, too, though. Like I said, it's kind of hard because I've watched so many documentaries on her.
I know, but this is the only one that I really watched on her, and I want to say it was the one called...
It might be like Catching Killers or Catching Criminals or...
Because Catching Killers is about all kinds of killers, but it's all from the perspective of these investigators.
Yeah, that's it then. That's the one.
I'm pretty sure it was Catching Killers, and there was an episode about Aileen Wuornos.
Yeah. And it shows the guy that was in Monster who, at the
bar.
Yeah, Last Resort.
Yeah.
Last Resort bar in Florida. Yeah.
Where they arrested her finally. Because they figured out that's one of the places that she constantly kept going.
Which that bar is still there, and you can go and visit it. Like, that's on my bucket list. I want to go because they have like a shrine for Aileen there and shit.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking cool. It's shady as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
But I still want to go.
Yeah, actually, I ain't gonna lie, that's the vacation I thought about us doing this year was going down to Florida.
You want to go to see Last Resort?
Well, that, and just go down to Florida in general. Go see your
you
friend
never been.
Andy.
Andy P.
Yep.
Shout out, Andy Pants. Well, the 90s are rad is his channel. Go check his channel out. He's another fellow YouTuber. Me and him, we were like this, man.
I have heard him mention you before, like in passing, due to something like he was talking about and hanging out with friends, and he has mentioned you before in passing.
That's cool. But yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a good film until about halfway through.
Yeah, I will admit, I felt like it became this ridiculousness.
Like, watching it, I was like super psyched until halfway through the film because it was honestly, I didn't mind that it was generic. I didn't mind that the actors weren't the best, but it was sticking to the actual truth because in the story before Monster, Aileen was married. And she married an old man in Florida.
How long was it for? Like 9 weeks?
Yeah. And that's basically the basic storyline of American Boogeywoman. Aileen Wuornos' American Boogeywoman it's before Monster. It's when she actually was married to a man. And it was an older man who was rich. They called him the Commodore. And she married into wealth because he was like 70-something. And she was a prostitute, so she's good in the fucking sheets. You know she was licking his butthole and everything else, dude.
Yeah.
And she was young. She was young.
Well, yeah. Which, I will admit, her actual pictures, she wasn't ugly when she was younger, but she definitely wasn't bad looking either, so I could see the guy still going.
She was alright.
Yeah.
She was alright when she was young.
Yeah, like I said, she wasn't like a smoking hot kind of thing, but
that and where she was a prostitute, she knew what she was doing in the bathroom.
Exactly, and that's why she was able to, because she's like, I know what I'm doing.
That's what I'm saying. I ain't trying to be raunchy, but you know she was like tongue fucking his fart box, man.
Yeah.
Like, and he's just had stacks of cash. Like, here you go. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. That's why he was also willing to marry her.
But halfway through, they just started throwing in shit that never fucking happened. Like, there's a weird brother scene. She goes to the hotel room of her brother.
Well, yeah, because someone
that never happened.
Well, no, because he died before she ever went to Florida. She hadn't even gone to Florida yet until after he died from cancer, because I was looking that up.
Yep.
He had already died from cancer first, and then she left to Michigan and went to Florida.
And they added this stupid murder scene where she murders him.
Yeah, suffocates him and shoots him in the head.
And then they added, okay, so the Commodore has a fucking lawyer.
Yeah, which I mean makes sense. They're good friends, and you know, because the guy was probably smart. He probably made friends with the lawyer that way. Hey, you're my bud. We're buds.
Which might have been true, but then they made another murder scene.
Yeah, where she kills
which
him.
never fucking happened.
And his son.
Yeah, she murdered the son too.
Shoots him in the dick first, and then.
Yeah, the first half of the movie is all fucking true. Yeah. And then there's all this murder in between. They turned it into like a Chucky, Michael Myers slasher film. And that's where it goes.
See.
Like, shit. It goes to shit.
The reason why I think they did it, and this is because I do agree with this thought process of Aileen embellished her own stories because in her mind...
They wanted to make her look crazy.
Well, I think she actually probably did tell that real story. They're
Maybe.
basing this off of the interview that she did before she died.
The last interview, yeah.
Yes, so you've seen some
And
of
she
them,
was saying some crazy shit in that
Yeah.
interview.
Now, and here's the thing. You've seen the interview, but I don't think you've seen the whole interview. Like, there's a chance there's part of that interview you've not seen. And maybe
Yeah.
this is the part you haven't seen, and maybe she really does embellish her own stories, because in her crazy mind, it is true.
It's true.
Yep. And I do think that's what it was. And
Because
they
she
were
was, towards the end, she was saying crazy shit that, like, she was gonna...
meteor coming.
There's a meteor coming in 2019. Y'all are gonna fucking blow up and die. I'm getting zoomed off into a UFO.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was talking batshit towards the end. She said that they were putting secret technology behind her mirror in her jail cell.
Now, here's the thing, okay? I understand what you're saying about thinking she was a CIA agent. The only reason...
Yeah, get
Okay,
into
hold
that.
on.
Get into that.
Okay, now here's why I disagree, though. Based on everybody
Well,
else...
tell them why, though.
I am, in a sense.
Okay.
I'm telling it by...
Alright, sorry our camera cuts off.
I had to admit, though, cut off had a really good time.
It did.
To me, it did, because I was about to explain something, and you went to grab a drink, so it's like, I don't know. It was like perfect timing.
Okay, so
Okay.
You have the floor.
Okay, so my thing I was saying was the reason why I disagree that I do not believe she was a secret CIA agent is when you mention all the other people who were.
Like Charlie. Which
and
is
Jim
honestly-
Morrison and
Well, no, well,
you've said him. You have.
he was more like Tavistock Institute.
I know, but nonetheless, like.
And his dad was part of Gulf of Tonkin.
Who were some of the other ones that, like, honestly?
Charlie Manson was CIA, and that's pretty much proven at this point.
I know, but who else is there? You mentioned some. I can't remember.
Gacy.
Okay, what did he do?
Gacy worked with the Finders, which was a CIA cult.
Yeah.
There's a whole series where Gacy was not working alone. Also.
Wait, what did Gacy do?
Oh, he
What
used
did
to. He dressed up as a clown.
Oh yeah, he's the one with the clown with all the kids, right? The
Yeah,
teenage boys.
he would rape and murder boys
Okay.
and bury them in his basement.
Okay.
And there's evidence that he wasn't even in town whenever a lot of these murders happened. It was a whole
Okay.
group.
Yeah.
There's a series called the Clown and the Candy Man,
Okay.
and it ties in with, like, Gacy. He had met the first lady. He was in politics. A lot of these motherfuckers, it's starting to come out that a lot of these serial killers and shit had ties with politics, had ties with government, had ties with secret societies, had ties with CIA.
Yeah.
A lot of them, dude. And I'm telling you, so it doesn't seem that far-fetched
No. Now the reason why, okay.
that Aileen thinks that her job was to clean up the streets. And she was cleaning up the streets until she killed a cop. And then that's when the cops were like, we let you clean up the streets.
Yeah.
We didn't want to catch you because you were killing all these criminals.
Okay, so you think she's mainly ending up with criminal guys?
She fucked up when she killed the cop.
No, I know that, but I'm saying
That's
you
my
think,
theory.
But you think that she was...
Well, yeah. Anyone who's engaging in prostitution, you're cleaning up the streets for the cops.
No.
It's
Hold on.
less paperwork.
Now, hold on. You think the main people she was having sex with were criminals? Because, no, I don't think every guy that goes out to find a prostitute is some crime lord.
No, I don't think that, but the cops think that.
Oh, well, that's just
And that's
stupid.
what Aileen thinks, too.
That's just stupid. Sorry, cops, but you're stupid if you literally think everybody goes out to find a prostitute. Most of them just
I
can't...
know, but that's the law, boo.
That's the law? What's the law?
You can't get a prostitute. What are you talking
No,
about?
I know that. That's not what I said. I said I think it's stupid that...
She was doing their work for them.
But not every guy who goes to get a fucking prostitute is a fucking crime lord, is my point. That is stupid to even think that. Because there's a lot...
Crime lord? What are you talking
That's what I just said. Did you not hear me? I said...
I didn't say they were crime lords. They're criminals, technically, by law.
You just said yes, though, and then I asked, do you think that the most people that she was, prostituting with were crime lords?
Anyone who engages in buying a prostitute is a criminal.
Well, yes, I understand that prostitution.
So she was cleaning the streets. That's her theory. And that's my theory until she killed a cop and then the cops closed in.
Yeah.
It makes complete, utter sense.
Not to me, I'll admit. But then again, I have a more
Makes their job easier. She's doing their job for them.
No, you don't kill people just because they want to cheat. That's stupid. You don't kill...
What are you talking about, cheat?
I understand that prostitution is illegal.
Yeah.
However...
She was doing the cops' jobs.
Hold on, no. So they're going to kill people. That's what they do with people who break the law. They kill them.
I'm sure a lot of them want to.
Okay, well, that's my point. Is that stupid? To me, in my brain, the way...
The only reason I think that she's CIA is because she said she was getting picked up by black helicopters and shit.
Yeah.
She says that in her interviews.
I know that, but I also keep in mind that she's not all there in the head either.
Neither was Charlie.
Yep, you're right, he wasn't.
But they used Charlie.
Yes, they did. You're right. But we still don't know if it's true or not because she's not all there in the head. We don't know how true it is until they start declassifying
Dude,
it.
Charlie was 10 times more batshit than Aileen.
I know.
And the thing is, though, is like, looking at it now, I listened to a 4-hour documentary with Joe Rogan on a dude who studied Charles Manson.
Mm-hmm.
And he put all the puzzle pieces together on how Charles Manson was fucking CIA.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, like this shit right here. Charlie Manson was locked up in jail. And he had long hair and a beard and jewelry on in prison. Doing interviews. You can't have jewelry. You can't have long hair. Especially during those time periods those interviews were shot. Like, it was against prison regulations, haircut codes, and all that shit. You can't have fucking jewelry on and necklaces and shit. In prison? Nah. The dude was CIA. And there's people who have said that Charlie was supposed to be in jail. And he's like cruising around in like red convertible fucking Corvettes and shit. They seen him on the street like, holy shit, that's Charlie. Mm-hmm. Charlie's like, hey man, you know, cruising around in the fucking, he's supposed to be in prison. Sorry man, CIA dude, I don't know.
My personal opinion is that she was just crazy and she wasn't actually.
She probably was, boo-boo. She probably was.
But I don't think CIA was using her to kill random people from the street just because they wanted to have sex with a woman.
That was her theory.
I know.
So I do have to mention it. You know?
No. It's fine to mention her theory. That's fine.
The music for, like, the American Boogeywoman, nothing stood out. It was just generic music.
Yeah.
But man, there are some good fucking tunes in Monster though, like Crimson and Clover. Mm-hmm. I love that song, dude.
After watching the movies that made us, I definitely learned that trying to get the rights for said music actually is really hard to ask for that permission. Like it can take forever just to be like, look, I really want to use your song. Can I use it? And just to get them to answer back to you. So Monster definitely got lucky in that they were able to get permission for this. So I do see why this one didn't, where it's already a lower budget film. Like there might have been legit songs that they wanted to use and asked for, and they're like, no. Or just didn't answer in time, so they had to come up with their own music. They had to create their own music.
But yeah, man, like, I don't know, the Crimson and Clover, Journey, excellent actors in Monster.
Yeah.
The movie actually made me fucking cry. Monster did.
Yeah.
Not this Boogeywoman.
Well, honestly, I could see why this one, or the Boogie one, wouldn't. The way they did the movie, again, they don't pull on the heartstrings either, though. This movie in no way was trying to pull on heartstrings like Monster did.
They
made it on the love part.
Yeah.
That's how they sold their story. Was
it is a love story.
Yeah.
Because even, like, when I first, like, showed it to you, because I loved the movie before I met you, and I'm like, I want to show you this movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, it's a lesbian love story, but I know you're obviously straight, but, like, don't get grossed out by it. Just please watch it.
Yeah.
And just watch it as a movie, you know? Because, I mean, I watched Party Monster, which was a gay movie.
Yeah.
I've watched Rent, you know?
Yeah.
I can watch Rent right now and it doesn't bother me. But I'm like, just keep an open mind, just watch it. I just didn't want you getting grossed out because it was lesbians, you know?
Oh, no, I mean, love is love. As long as you see it, that's fine.
But I'm like, dude, it's an awesome fucking love story.
Yeah.
I don't know, and Monster made me cry. This movie just made me... I'm like 50-50 because it started out amazing until halfway through the movie. It gets ridiculous.
It turned into this weird horror movie.
And then it actually ends, though, the way that the true story actually ends, though. Like,
yeah, her getting pulled out to be taken to finally, be killed.
Yeah. Well, she does actually... Wait, what?
The end of the movie is the end of
Oh,
the movie.
yeah. Well, I was saying before that. She did actually beat up the husband.
Oh, yeah.
But technically, in the true storyline, after she beats up the husband, they just divorce.
Yeah.
And then
get the fuck out.
Yeah, and then Aileen becomes a prostitute, and then that's when it would go into the movie Monster. That's how it should have been done.
Yeah, because I think it was right there.
They divorce. She hits the streets again. She becomes a prostitute again.
Yeah. That's
how it should have went. But instead, there's a final battle between the daughter and Aileen, and then Aileen gets knocked off the boat, and she gets washed down the river, and...
Yeah, it was, like I said, some weird horror movie.
It turned into Chucky, man.
It was ridiculous.
Um,
They did the whole creepy nighttime rain.
Yeah.
The electricity is out in the house. Oh no.
The daughter dies at one point.
Or it seemed like
the daughter and Aileen have like a battle, and then the daughter gets thrown in the pool or something.
No, Aileen gets thrown in first. She's like, "Help me! I can't swim!" So the daughter's like, "Oh well, I guess I better help her." And then Aileen tricks her and pulls her into the pool, and then tries to drown her. She thinks she killed her, but
it's so fucking corny, dude.
It was. That part was definitely corny. I definitely noticed that it started to get into this corniness at a certain point.
Yeah, and it sucked because they were actually doing a decent job until halfway through.
It started...
Halfway through is when it just goes to... And then the ending is actually decent. The ending is actually, I thought, decent. It goes like this. Like, awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, we're kind of making it up. It ended. It was just like, oh, you guys had so much potential.
Yeah.
Because you actually took a true story that was pre-Monster storyline. It was an actual true story of how Aileen Wuornos married an older gentleman who was rich. She was abusive to him.
Yeah.
You know what they should have done was made it kind of like Misery. They could have... You ever seen Misery?
It's sounding familiar, so that's what I'm trying to go,
They could have made it more like Misery. I'm pointing at you, the fans.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's 50-50. My best advice is if you see it like in a $5 movie bin, to buy it. If you're a fan of Aileen or a fan of Monster.
Or if you have Netflix, go watch it on Netflix.
Yep. It's 50-50 with me. I literally give it like a 50-50 rating. Like, I neither like it nor dislike it.
Yeah.
Because I'm...
Which I'll admit, I actually do think the actors did do a good job for the most part. The only one I don't think I liked was the lawyer guy and the daughter. Their acting was okay until like a certain point. When it came to the point where it was them talking about Eileen's past, you know, her records and stuff, I don't know, it was just like, no, what are you doing there? No, just the way they acted to some degree. Actually, now that I think about it, the lawyer, I recognize him too. He's another one of those low budget guys. He's been in like TV shows. I don't remember what, but I recognize him. The lawyer in the movie, the bigger dude. He's been in TV shows. I know, and some pretty known TV shows. But I don't really think he's ventured too far into movies and stuff too much. He's mainly like a TV guy. So I kind of recognized him. But yeah, their acting was kind of at a certain point.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, like, I probably will watch it again, just because I like Aileen.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's Hollywood. Stop. Just make actual movies of the actual truth.
Yeah. Well, sadly, a lot of that though, honey, doesn't sell. That's why you have to spice it up somewhere. It's why Monster knew they could not sell this story.
They turned Aileen Wuornos into Chucky.
I agree that they shouldn't have quite turned him into Chucky. However,
they turned it into a slasher film.
I agree that that wasn't a smart move.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, the reason why Monster sold is because they focused on the love aspect. That's why it sold. Now, some of that actually could be well, we already know that the woman that she dated is not the same name. They had to change that. They used a different name there. And I'm sure some of what happened between them was also different. Because if you remember, there's a movie made in 1992 about Aileen Wuornos. And they actually have the actual woman's name and the fact that she has a job. But see, this one she didn't. In Monster, she didn't have a job.
Talking about the one that was made for TV?
Yeah, the TV movie one.
We need to do a review on that movie too, though.
Yeah, I ended up staying awake and like you fell asleep. I didn't need to stay awake, but I was planning on going back to sleep when it came on.
It is on YouTube for free.
I think so, yeah. Because
we need to watch it.
Yeah, you watched Monster.
I was listening to the last podcast on the left, and they said they mentioned the title of it, so I need to find that one again.
Yeah.
And watch it.
Yeah, we might be able to find it anyway, just because it played it. Because like I said, you watched Monster, and then after Monster,
I do want to watch it and do a review on it.
It went into that one, and I ended up kind of semi-watching it. So.
It seemed like it was kind of like more like Monster.
Accurate.
Yeah.
It's way more accurate than the Monster.
Awesome.
To me, it was more accurate in that.
More accurate than Monster?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
And that
so that would be more accurate than all three films.
Yeah, they used the Ty's actual name, Ty.
Ty.
Not what name did they use in the?
It was Ty. They used Ty.
Did they use Ty in Monster?
Yeah, they did.
Okay, well there was either way. She had a job, which I think is actually more true than the Monster.
Right.
The Monster, they were trying to make her out to be like, oh, I'm this little teenage girl who don't know what I'm doing, and it's like, no.
They also in Monster made Ty hot, and when you actually look at Ty, ooh, she had like a mullet. You've seen Ty.
No offense to that actress, but to me she's not that hot. That's just.
Who, Christina Ricci?
Yeah.
What?
To me, I've never thought she was a super pretty girl. Never have. Sorry.
But she does look better than Ty, though. Like
the real
Ty.
Yeah,
You've seen Ty.
Yes.
She had busted teeth,
yes,
a mullet. She was fat.
Yes, the real one though, she is better looking than the real one. Yes. But anyway, so she had a job. Her sister came to see her in Florida, and things like that. I don't know. So as I was watching that one a bit, I was like, this seems far more accurate than Monster did. I mean, they were still playing on the love aspect to a degree, but I felt like it was more like what was really happening right then and there.
One of those murders, I think, happened in Pasco County, which is where I was born and raised and grew up in, man.
Yes, actually.
That's my old fucking stomping ground, dude.
Yeah, I think Pasco was one of the ones, because she stayed actually up in your area. That's where she did most of her killings and lived. Was up there.
In Florida, man, we got most of the serial killers, dude. We don't fuck around. But that's it.
Yep, I think that's all she wrote on what we got to say on it.
Alright. Well, please like, share, and subscribe. I hope this was a good review, a good podcast. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe. You can find us on Breaker, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Spotify, Anchor. Once in a blue moon, we're on BitChute. I'm trying to get her to upload more on YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube's a lot easier to upload on.
We need to catch up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Find us on YouTube. Also, we're on Twitter.
Ain't going about done with BitChute just because.
Yeah, then that's fine. but you can upload on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a whole lot easier.
Let's catch up on YouTube.
Yeah.
And rate us on Spotify, man. I mean,
yeah.
we're putting out content like every day, and
Yep.
we need to get some thumbs ups and shares and rate us, man.
Yeah, because rating does help us. It helps to spread the word of us. It helps to put us in the algorithms, put us up higher for a suggestion to someone. So yeah, definitely help us out.
By sharing too, like, you can obviously share through a text message. I share shit all the time through a text message.
Yes,
or even just word of mouth. Just be like, hey, I'm listening to this podcast. I like it. You know, check it out. You know, send it to someone in a text message, or tell someone. Verbally tell someone. You know, that's about all she wrote though, man.
Sorry.
Stay tuned.
Bye, guys.
Catch you later.
We are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret society, opposed to secret oaths, opposed to secret proceedings, secret proceedings. No official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.